Hey guys, welcome to the G Lawrence. As you guys can see, we're moving on to part 7 of making the high poly of this rail rifle. I'm really enjoying this, and I've actually had a few messages from people saying they're enjoying it as well, which was nice. But don't forget guys to comment, like and share, and really I think comments a big one. I want you guys to let me know what you think. If you need help, if you're making something and you've looked at my videos and they've given you a bit of inspiration, let me know. That's really cool. But just let me know your thoughts as well. So we're going to carry on. Now, as you guys can see, I'm moving straight into it. I've working from the last episode where I basically done the high poly model, and what I've done is turbo smoothed it, and as you can see it's a lot smoother now that turbo smooth's been applied. But of course there are a few errors that I still need to fix and a few messy patches. What I do notice through making this video is that I didn't really like the trigger that I've made, so I've decided to actually change what the trigger looks like. The reason for this is because I feel as though the trigger I've done doesn't really fit the gun, will fit the design. I also noticed a few errors on the top half which I'm messing with at the moment. I'm moving the edges around and it just doesn't seem to be working. The shape seems to be a bit, I don't know, uneven. There's a bit of a weirdness to it, so I decided to change that, but I haven't added that to this video unfortunately. But during the next video you'll see the changes I've done and I'll point them out. So as you guys can see, I've got a really nice gun body here. I've been basically using the turbo smooth to get the nice rounded edges, the nice smooth faces. I've tried to clean up as many triangles as possible where necessary, and I've tried to get rid of as many 90-degree angles, so there aren't as many sharp angles. What this usually means, someone did actually ask me, what do you mean by no 90-degree angles? Well, basically when you're baking the normal map, you want to try and avoid having so many sharp edges. Those sharp edges can cause a few errors with the normal map, of course. Now, what we've got so far is a really nice design. I think it looks really good, and I think the shape of it's looking really nice. And what I do here is I decide, okay, I've got a nice looking part of this gun. I decide I want to get one half and I want a symmetry over, ready to have a look at it turbo smoothed both halves. So as you guys can see, we've symmetried it over and I've got this really nice looking gun so far. I'm really happy. But at the moment it doesn't look any different from what it was previously, but you can see there's a lot more edges in it, and these edges are all to support the edges, and when I smooth it the edges will become, that won't just round off and turn into like a giant weird gloop. It'll be nice and smooth where the edges are, it'll be nice and sharp where the edges are. Now I have noticed a tiny error, and I decide to go back, and I feel as though this little error needs to be fixed before I applied the symmetry. So I've noticed that at the front here there's a bit of a mess here, where basically once again where I've welded, it's welded some vertices I really didn't want to weld. So I decided to fix this by basically adding in another edge along the side to sharpen up the edge that goes on the inner there, as you can see. Because at the moment it kind of comes down and it's very rounded where there's no support edges, and it's a bit too rounded. I feel it kind of doesn't look right, so I bring down a few edges and make an edge in the side to add to the shape slightly. So of course once I've got that edge in nice and neatly, I move on to the back part of the gun, where of course I've removed some edges and now it's lifted it slightly at the back. Now there's a bit of a mess here where there's a corner and the surface is a bit weird in shape where there's when the turbo smooth is applied. So I need to correct this, and unfortunately I decided to do this without recording it because I was trying to decide how it would look, and I decided how to change it in my own time. I thought I didn't really want to record it while you guys watch me in and out of things. So as you guys can see, I've added that edge on the inside there just to make a bit of a sharper angle on the inside. But as you can see, there's a lot more smooth. It's a lot smoother now, and there's not such a gradual curve. It's much more of a sharper angle. So as you guys can see, I've added the edge, which is the next support edge, and I'm now just moving the verts and edges around again to get them in shape. By all means guys, I hope, I'm glad to see how many people are watching these videos. I'm glad to see that you guys are enjoying them. I'm glad to get messages as well, but by all means please comment and let me know what you think. If you're not sure of what to do in this kind of situation, or if you feel as though you want me to do a longer video as such, let me know. At the moment I can't do such a long video because there has been I've had a bit of a problem with YouTube, but as soon as that's all sorted the videos will be back to normal length. So as you can see, there's a bit of an error back here. It's on this corner there where of course the body's shape changes quite drastically, and I unfortunately didn't think about this when working on the low poly. What's happened is when Turbo is moving it, it creates quite a horrible edge, and I need to get rid of that. So I've already kind of corrected that, but you don't see me correcting that in this video, unfortunately. If you do want to see how I correct that, I don't mind doing a special extra video just to show I correct that, but it's not really too complex. What I basically decide to do is detach the model, change the shape slightly, edit it, hide some faces, add some edges, add some vertices, and move it around. Simple. Can't describe exactly how I do it, but I think for some more of you who know what you're doing in this kind of software, you discover that it's all about problem solving. You do come across these little errors which you have to kind of fix and figure out quite, not quickly, but you do need to figure them out. So I'm moving some edges around where I've noticed there's quite a sharp edge because there's two edges acting like a kind of a support edge for themselves, and it creates quite a, where there's two edges, there will be a crease type thing. So the last thing I want to do is start creating triangles. So as you can see, this triangle at the end is now no longer a triangle. It is a four-sided polygon. However, there still is that triangle below it. Now unfortunately, that's the kind of triangle that really can't be helped, to be honest. There are some times when a triangle is in your model and it can't be helped, but as long as it doesn't create too much of an error, I feel as though it's not too much of a worry. So what I'll do is see how it looks. It could cause problems with the norm map. If it doesn't cause problems with the norm map, brilliant, no worries there. So you can see I'm just trying to clean up some of the edges, trying to line them up neater to get rid of this pinched edge in the middle. Whoops. As you can see, I'm just moving edges along, just trying to make them flow a lot neater. It's always good to have the edges flow neat and have the model tidy instead of messy. The last thing you want is a very messy model. As you can see, I'm not doing very much in this video. It's only a short one. But what I've basically done is I've got the body, I've got the high poly body, and I've added a few more support edges and made a bit more shape to the body of the gun. And what I basically do is take one half of the gun, symmetry over like I said, and there we have the other half of the gun. So as you guys can see, I've symmetried over the gun, but of course now there's this horrible sharp edge right down the middle. Now the reason for this sharp edge happens to be because there was a support edge on the very edge of the gun. So when I symmetried it over, it created these three edges in the middle instead of just one, and that three edges meant that it acted as a pinch, gave it a support edge, and ended up making a very sharp edge right in the middle of the gun. I don't really want that. So what I've decided to do is go around and get rid of this excess edge that's on the edge of the actual gun, on the side that we're going to symmetry. There's no point having it there. It has nothing really that it needs to support, as it is going to be symmetried over. So now I go around, like I said, and I've selected the edges, and I'm basically going to symmetry this over so that you guys can see what it looks like as a full-bodied gun. There are a lot more things that I need to do, of course, to the body to make it look very detailed. At the moment it's quite flat. I've not done lots to it. I've kind of just taken a box shape and chamfered a few things and corrected a few edges. What I do plan on doing, if people are interested, is I think I might be taking it into ZBrush, and I am going to be doing of course a cell shaded hand painted texture. So once we get to that point, you'll see how that goes, and you'll see that it'll look a lot different. I have noticed, if people are interested, a lot of the time in 3D modelling, the model looks a lot better with the texture on. A lot of the time you'll look at a model and go, it's not looking very good, but it is what the texture does to complement your model. So you could make the best model in the world, if the texture and lighting doesn't look any good, it's not going to look good at all. So I reckon with the right looking texture, if I do the texture well enough, it'll look pretty good. I think at that point what I want to say is I plan on giving this model a really nice texture. I want to get your opinion, guys. Now I want to try and get a few more viewers watching these videos, because I'm really enjoying the art videos, and I want to make the focus of my channel art. I don't want to make the focus of my channel playing games. I do enjoy playing games, I enjoy making the videos, but I really want to share my art, and I really want people to see how this kind of stuff's made. And if there are people that are interested, which there are, then keep watching. But what I want to do in the next video, we're going to take the gun that I've made here, this rifle, and we're going to carry on making the high poly. But when it comes to making the texture part, I want you, the viewer, I want one of the users to come up with a sticker that we can put on the gun. I do admit, if it's obscene, rude, or anything that I don't think is sensible, I won't be putting it in. But if you do something sensible, you put it forward, send me a message. You know, I'll put my link to my Gmail in the description. Send me an email with your ideas, and I'll think about putting it on the gun, and you guys will get me to see me actually implement that into the texture. It'll be exactly as you do it, so even if it's a little scribble, I want it to be something really cool. If it doesn't look cool, as long as it's something creative, even if you're not an excellent drawer, excellent at drawing as such, I want you to come up with a design and let me know. So what we're going to do in the next few weeks, as you guys will see, is I'm going to start like finishing off the gun, and when I come to make the texture, I want someone to have submitted something that I can put on the gun and show off, and you guys can see it, and then you will have a little bit of something in Team Fortress 2 just for you guys who are interested. So yeah, I think that'd be a really cool idea. So if you feel as though you want to do that, get in touch, send me some sticker ideas, and we'll try and get those implemented to the texture. So yeah, I think that'd be a really cool idea. So yeah, as you guys can see, I've got the gun now symmetried over, and it's looking really nice. Like I said, that there were a few things that I didn't enjoy. I didn't like the trigger housing or the way the trigger was. So there are a few edits I've made to that in my own time, but of course, you know, if you want to see them, let me know and I'll upload a video. But the next video will be concentrating more on more of the gun instead of just the trigger. So as you guys can see, we've moved on to the panels that are on the side of the gun. One side there's the wires and there's the shell ejection port, and on the other side there's the cocking lever, and there will be on that side the battery. Now I've got a really cool idea for this kind of battery that's going to sit on the side, which will power the gun, and it was a very sensible suggestion from a friend who said, Lawrence, have you not noticed that you've not put a battery on a gun that needs electricity, and it doesn't look like there's anywhere a battery could go? True, there wasn't. I didn't think about it. So I've got this really cool idea for a battery that's going to sit on the side. As it is for Team Fortress 2, it is going to be a kind of a bog standard kind of AA battery that will be stuck on the side. But I've got a really cool idea on how to do it, and I hope you guys like it as well. So I'll put that up. I'll do that in the next coming videos as well. So as you guys can see, I'm adding some more support edges, the usual, around the edges where I don't want it to be such a gradual curve. I want it to be quite, not super sharp, but not dead rounded. I want it to be nice and a nice smooth sharp edge. Now as you can see, when I smoothed that off, it was because of the shape, it just rounded, it became more round than it was square. So I need to think about adding some support edges across the middle and across the top of the actual box panel shapes. So you guys can see I've got these plates, and I'm going to add the edges along the middle from top to bottom and from left to right to add the support edges for those corners. Now I think I add these edges, then kind of think, I could just chamfer those corners. That might be a better idea, but I think I stick with what I've done because I'm happy with what I've done. But as you can see, it's relatively simple. Doing subdivision is all about controlling your edges. It's all about controlling the shape and the actual roundness. As I say, you don't want too many 90-degree angles, or you try not to have as many as possible, but you do end up having a few, I think. But just, well, no, you shouldn't really have any 90-degree angles, or it ends up being too sharp and it doesn't work on normal map. But as you guys can see, it's looking pretty good. So what I plan to do is in the next video we'll be moving on to the next part of the gun. I think we'll be moving on to the barrel of the gun and working on the barrel, the muzzle and the gas tubing. But of course, I'll just have to say we're going to finish it off there. I'm sorry for such a short video, guys. Has been a bit of a problem with my YouTube account, bit of an error, but hope it gets all fixed soon. It should be fixed by next week, and if it is, there'll be a longer uploaded video next Thursday. But thanks guys for tuning in, thanks for watching, and thanks to all those who have been watching and supporting me. I'm really grateful. And don't forget, sticker ideas, guys. Comment, like, share, and send me some sticker ideas. If I like your sticker, it'll be on the gun. I'd love to put some stickers on the gun. It'll look really cool. Night, guys.